Hey, everybody, and welcome to Late Night with Bridget and Holly. I'm your host, Bridget.
And I'm your host, Holly.
And y'all, tonight we're going to be talking about love languages. Okay, but first, before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell here on YouTube. And if you don't listen to us on YouTube or watch us, then make sure you listen to us on your favorite podcast station. If you have a podcast and we're not on there, let us know and we'll get ourselves on there. But to my knowledge, we're everywhere that your favorite podcast is. But anyhow, before we get started, Holly, how was your day today?
It was good. I did some decluttering because
Good.
my house has been a mess. And I got my living room looking back normal because it looked like a freaking warehouse in here.
Yeah, I
How
feel
has your
you.
day been?
It's been good. We just kind of chillaxed and we had steak, fries, and slaw for supper, and that's one of our favorite meals. So that just
And
topped
you
the day
enjoying
off.
Mr. Ronnie being home for the weekend?
Yeah, this weekend I am.
Now, before we get started on our podcast, and y'all are going to hear this, but we do run into some technical difficulties sometimes. I am uploading, it keeps bouncing between a 58 and a 65.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, now it's up to 72, so maybe it's going to take a minute to get up higher like we need it to. It's on 74. Okay, sorry, y'all. We have to go through that because if it's too low on my end, because of my internet provider, then we can't record.
Yeah,
So, can you
exactly.
see my percent?
I can see it.
Okay, so if you see it drop slow enough to where we need to stop, then you just tell me because
Uh,
I'm keeping an eye on it, but, I know.
if it gets below 60%, we need to be done.
Okay.
All right.
It's creeping up there, though, so we good.
Okay. Okay, so y'all, in other words, there's 5 love languages, and I kind of want to explain those to y'all. And then we're going to talk about a little bit about what our love language is, what we think our partner's love language is. And y'all just kind of listen to these and see what resonates with you. But the first one is words of affirmation. Now, when you are somebody that has a love language of words of affirmation. You like to be encouraged. You want to be affirmed. Your actions affirmed. You want to be appreciated, empathized with. You want somebody to listen to you, like actively listen. And somebody that goes off the love language of words of affirmation, you want to do things like send them some unexpected gifts or not gifts, but notes, cards, and that have like genuinely encouraged them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
for instance, Holly, like say, Jason might write you and say a little note and put it on the bathroom mirror that says, "Hey, Holly, you've been doing a great job here lately. I appreciate you." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's so good. Now, things you want to avoid for somebody who is words of affirmation: criticism, unkind words, and not acknowledging their achievements or their efforts. That is a killer for them. Okay, so
That's a toxic relationship right there.
exactly. And so once I go through
Yeah.
these, I'm going to tell you there's 5 of them. You said you're not real familiar with all these, but you got words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality times, and acts of service. So before I go too deep into them, I want to ask you what you think you are. And then when we get done with this, I'm going to ask you again, are you sticking with that or did it change?
Right. Okay.
So what do you think you are?
Okay. Let me write these down as you say them because there's a few of them. Okay. There's
Now
the first one.
They say that you have a top 2, that you're ruled by 2 usually. And I mean, all of them take into account for everybody, but they say that 2 rules you. So I just want you to pick 2. Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Okay.
Yep. And I went into a little detail with that, but physical touch.
And then physical. Okay. And you want to know what 2 I am, what I think I am, right? Okay, go ahead.
And receiving gifts. And quality time.
Okay.
And acts of service.
All right. I think for me, I'm definitely not the receiving gift person because, and I'm going to explain why. Like, I'm going to tell you the 2 I am, but the ones that I think I'm not, I'm going to start off with those first. I'm definitely not a receiving gifts because I don't have to get a diamond ring I don't have to get, you know, jewelry, flowers, or anything like that to show that you love me. I'm just
Right.
not that person. Never been that person. Um, I would say I'm probably not really the physical touch. I love physical touch, but I'm not the person where you always got to hold my hand, be up my ass, and constantly kiss me and sit right beside me. I
Right.
got my space, you got your space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, God, and it says you can only choose two. I will say I am big on quality time.
Okay.
Um, and I say that, and I don't mean like you got to be with me every minute, but I need quality time because everyday life is crazy. You're working, you're taking care of the kids, you know, running a household and doing all this and that. Your spouse, your significant others doing the same thing. So if you don't make time and have quality time, I feel like you slowly drift apart.
Right.
You then possibly become almost like roommates instead of husband and wife. So
Right.
quality time is my number one that I would say I am. And then it's torn because I'm torn between words of affirmation and acts of service. I don't constantly always have to have somebody saying, good girl, good girl, good girl. But I do like the acts of service because, for example, me and JoJo and Tammy, where did we go? Was it when we went to the beach? I think we had went to the beach, and we were 10 minutes from home. We dropped everybody off, and we were on our way back. And I had a desk that I wanted to be put together, and I didn't even ask him. Didn't know when he was going to do it or anything. And I came home, and it was put together, set up in the spot I needed it, and everything. And to me, that was an act of service. It was him showing that he cares about me and he's doing something that he knows is important to me. So I guess I would choose for my second one to be acts of service. Like, yeah,
Okay.
he tells me he loves me every single day. He tells me he's proud of me. So I guess because he does that almost every day, I wouldn't choose words of affirmation as my number two because I do hear it every day. So mine will be quality time and acts of service. Now,
Okay.
before I want to know before you explain like the rest of them, I want to know what your two. What are your two? I think I know one of yours, but what are your two that you say that you are?
Well, what do you think you know?
I think words of affirmation is definitely one of yours because, and the only reason I say that is every time I tell you I love you, how much you mean to me. Sorry, my ears itching. Um, you know, just how much you mean to me and you're my best friend and stuff. Like, I can really tell it warms your heart and you're always in awe. And you're like, I needed to hear that. Thank you for telling me that. Like, you're just so sweet and so kind. And I can just tell that, first of all, you know, I mean it. And second of all, it really warms your heart, you know. And I
Right.
don't think that you've had that enough in your life only because of things that has happened to you and the shitty friendships that you've had that, of course, we went over in some of the podcasts
Right.
previously and stuff.
Right. So words of affirmation definitely is one of mine. One of my top. And acts of service is the other one.
I was gonna
Um
say, can I guess your second? That's what I
oh
was gonna
damn.
guess. I knew it.
Sorry.
No, but that's
Okay.
okay. No,
Okay.
that's like I know you so well. Okay, I
Okay.
like that. I like that.
Okay. So, and you're right about the words of affirmation. And let me explain to you now, saying this about even my current friends and family. Okay. My husband, he's wonderful. He shows me he loves me through acts of service all the time. But
Right.
words of affirmation from my children, from my husband, from my friends, I never get. And I need that. And let me tell you,
You do
besides
for
you,
my ass every
I,
day.
I know besides you. But the reason I'm saying that is because people see me as such a strong person. I guess they think I just don't need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's so wrong because you are a tough person, but they got to look at the trials and tribulations that you have overcome to make you as strong as you are. But just because you're this strong woman doesn't mean you don't need to hear, "Hey, friend, I love you. I care about you."
Right. Or my husband saying, "Babe, you've done a good job today," or you've cleaned the house well, or and it's not that he doesn't recognize. I know he sees it, but he thinks it's just second nature to me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that you know it. You already know
Yeah.
it without having to be said.
Exactly, exactly. So, but he does show me through the acts of service. So, let's go a little deeper into this and we'll talk more about that. So, the physical
Oh,
touch. Oh, go ahead.
no, I just want to. So the two that I said for me, would you have thought that that's what I would have chose? What would you have thought I would have chose if those two you don't agree with, or wouldn't have thought that I would have chose?
The
Just curious.
I would have said quality time and acts of service for you.
Oh, okay, okay, go ahead. So I just wanted to know that. Okay.
Okay. So anyhow, with physical touch is people who enjoy like a nonverbal use of body language, touch kind of to express their love, whether it be through hugs, kisses, even like you said, a rub on the arm. You know what I'm saying? Intimacy, of course. Sex. That's important to them, and so actions to take when you're with somebody who likes physical touch is hugs, kisses, holding hands, showing physical affection often, and make intimacy a priority. So that's important to them. Now, here's what you don't want to do: negative, neglecting physical intimacy. So, like not giving them that intimate time, extended periods of distance or even physical abuse. You never want to hit, well, you wouldn't want to hit your partner anyway, so I don't even know why that's there.
No.
I'm just
I
saying.
wanted to hit Jason this week because
He
not
didn't take
only
out the trash.
no girl, he missed trash day. So the damn trash can is piled mile high, and we
Shame,
got to
shame.
wait half a week before they even come dump the damn thing.
Shame, shame, Jason.
Yes,
Shame,
yes.
shame. Okay, now the other one is receiving gifts, which you and I both said, I don't know who, but I guess there is people out there who sees this as a priority.
Yeah.
But the thought they like thoughtfulness and making your spouse a priority, and kind of doing things purposely, like not giving gifts just because it's Christmas or Valentine, just for no reason. Like, here, babe, I thought about you.
Spur of the moment.
Yeah, especially now. What you don't want to do to somebody like that is given like meaningless or generic gifts or gift cards. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I love a
Oh,
gift card, you like a gift
yeah.
card? I do.
I do.
Somebody who,
I love gift cards.
me too, but somebody who is a receiving gifts person for their acts of love, or were I'll get it right. For their love language, for their love
Yeah.
language, if they're a receiving gifts person, you don't want to get them a gift card because they
Or
feel
a
like
fucking
that's,
coffee mug.
yeah, they think that's thoughtless. Exactly. Quality time is uninterrupted and focused conversation and one-on-one time. Like in other words, Jason coming there saying, "I don't care about the game." You saying, "I don't care about TikTok." Y'all just devoting that time to each other. And if
Yep.
you have somebody who that's their love language, you definitely want to create special moments together, take walks, do small things with your partner, do like weekend getaways. That's a huge thing for them. For them, you don't want to spend extended time apart or have distractions and interruptions during your quality time. That really
Mm-hmm.
makes them feel unwanted. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it does.
Yeah. And so the last one is acts of service, and that's where you use actions like "I'll help you," or "Honey, don't worry, I'll get the dishes." They want to know that you're a partner with them. You know what I'm saying? Um, and things like doing chores together, making bed, or maybe make their bed or fix them breakfast, just doing things like that to take off their daily workload. That's something that's huge for somebody like that. But with acts of service, you definitely don't want to have broken promises, not helping out, or creating more work for that person. Okay,
Yeah.
so that kind of gives you a picture into all those. After hearing those, do you still stick with your same two?
Oh yeah. And I want to ask you, because we said what we thought we were. I do want to know if, well, you know what that means, so of course you're going to stick with your two. So yeah, I'm sticking with mine. I want to know what you would say Mr. Ronnie's two love languages are.
I'm gonna say for him, I think words of affirmation is one, and I think quality time is the other.
Quality time's the other one.
Hmm. If you're
I
because
think. Oh, go ahead.
if you're having to pick just two, that's like I said. They say you're ruled by two, but sometimes I think three comes into play. Sometimes receiving gifts, like you could take that off the list for me. I could
So
care less about
yeah,
that.
same with Jason because like when it comes to like Father's Day and Christmas, and I'm like, baby, what do you want for Christmas? Nothing. Oh, what you want for Father's Day? I don't need anything. He's never been that person that is ruled by a gift and has to have a gift.
Right,
That affirmation goes out the window for him, hands
right,
down.
right.
He is. If I had to choose, well, I am choosing for him, and I think he would agree with me. But hands down, his number one affirmation is physical touch. Hands down, physical touch. He will
So,
come in the living room.
so his first love language is physical touch. You think?
Yep, because
Okay.
he will come in the living room and he'll be like, "Baby, will you rub my back? Baby, will you
Yeah.
rub my legs? Will you rub my butt?" That hands down, physical touch is his first love language. His second love language, I would honestly say, would be a mixture of acts of service and words of affirmation, but not. I I probably would just choose more of acts of service with him because I do tell him I'm proud of him and stuff like that. But I yeah. His would be number one, hands down, physical touch. Number two would be acts of service because like, wait a minute, no, he gets affirmation. I tell him I love him all the time, so he's not lacking that. He doesn't care about receiving gifts. I mean, we live together, of course, so um, and we see each other, and we don't spend every waking moment together, of course, because he's got his work he's doing, I got my work and all that, but those for him would be his two main ones: physical touch and acts of service.
Okay. So they say since you have two love languages that rule you, they say generally speaking, you always feel that you're lacking in one or the other. So do
Oh
you
yeah.
feel that you do? So what do you feel like you're lacking in of your two?
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm lacking in quality time.
Right.
And he might get mad because I'm saying it on the podcast, but I mean, I feel like I'm lacking quality time for me.
Right. What do you think he's lacking from you?
Probably acts of service.
Really, you think?
Yeah, but probably because my acts of service, I'm thinking it might be different than what you're thinking.
But wouldn't you say that goes under physical touch? Because physical touch has to do with intimacy.
No, because I hug him every day, I kiss him every day, and so he gets physical touch from me.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
Well, physical
not
touch
saying.
still goes with sex. It goes with
Well,
all of it.
yeah, yeah. I would probably say acts of service because if he had it his way, it'd be every single day. But then again, he's getting older, and that has died down
But see,
for him. But
I don't think sex falls under acts of service. Acts of service
that's
is
what I consider acts of service for me. Like that's what I consider for him because if I was to say that to him, I know how he jokes. He would be like, "Bitch, it be acts of service." Acts of service for Jason is sexual.
you're
That
thinking,
because
but you're not a prostitute.
I'm not a prostitute, but I'm telling you, if you were to ask him, hands down, he would say acts of service
No.
because I do cook, I do clean, I buy what he needs. If I need to go to the store and he needs dip, monsters, want something to eat, I do all that. So I got those acts of service down pat. But when it comes to the sexual part, that's what he calls acts of service.
I think that would fall under physical touch.
See,
But okay.
me too. But he'll tell you hands down, he's good with the physical touch. He gets plenty of that. But the acts of service, yeah, because he wants it every day, all day, and women aren't built like that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
okay.
I'm not anyway, not to go like 100 miles an hour every day, all day.
Well, see now for Ronnie, he does a lot of acts of service. Like you said, he'll build stuff for me if I want a project done. If I'm like, hey babe, let's go camping, let's go. Anything and everything like that. Like he's surplusing in that. But
Yeah.
I'm lacking in the words of affirmation, and not just from him. Like I
Uh,
said, from a lot of people around me. You know what I'm saying?
what would you say he's lacking in?
I would say I don't know because quality time. Because anytime we're together,
Of his
even though
job?
his job, but even anytime like if we're in the same room and stuff, I'm always so busy with social media, with like you said, the podcast stuff, the this, the I've coloring books. Like I've got so many jobs. That's why it pisses.
Right.
That's why it pisses me off when people says I don't work. Well, you don't work,
I know. Just because you work at home does not mean that you don't fucking work.
bitches. I
Because
work.
yeah, because the TT is another job for us. You know what I'm saying? And people look at that like that's a hobby. For some people, it is a hobby, but this is something we're passionate about and wanted to kick off and trying to turn it into a career. So therefore, it is another job, and it's a demanding job.
Yeah. So yes, social media is a demanding job. Then we have our podcast. Then we have our regular job. Then we
Our
have
coloring
the
books,
coloring books. You know what I'm
but you
saying?
do your coloring books way more than me. I kind
I
of took a
slowed
little
down on you.
hiatus on it.
There you go. It's okay. But I think for me, it's words of affirmation that I lack in. But like I said, the ones I could do totally without. See, I think physical touch for me is in quality time. Like there's four out of these five that are important to me, but the two that I would say is words of affirmation. But I still like physical touch. I'm like Jason. I love to be massaged. I love to be rubbed on. I love like if you put your hands on me, it just melts me. I'm like, oh, that feels so good.
Yeah,
Like
that's what he does. He loves to be touched. Like
yeah.
he was like, "Do you think I'm weird because I like my butt being rubbed?" No, I mean, and that when we first got together, he's like, "There's one thing." He's like, "You might think I'm weird about." He's like, "I love to have my butt rubbed." He's like, "Do you think I'm weird?" I was like, "No, I mean, not." I mean, I didn't think it was weird, but for some reason, he thought that I would think it would be. I mean, it's a part of your body, and if you love getting touched anywhere on your body, you're gonna love getting touched. But that's
Well,
his
we've
soft spot right there.
we've talked about me at night how I like to rub everything before I go to bed.
I, girl, when I tell you, Tammy laughed her ass off so hard when you talked about the rubbing and then like Mr. Ronnie and the sniffing at a hand. She cracked the hell up like she couldn't breathe.
If y'all hadn't heard that podcast, you need to go back and listen
Y'all
to it.
got to go back. Y'all got to go back and watch it. But yeah, I wish Jason was out here right now because I'd ask him on our podcast and I would say, baby, what would you say that you're liking it? And y'all, don't get me wrong. I please my man. But you know how men is they could go at it every day, all day, and stuff like that. But that, in a joking way, I know he would be like acts of service.
But I don't think that falls under acts of service.
It don't, but him, that's his mentality.
Oh yeah,
That's his mentality. That's what he would call it.
I got you. Okay,
Because again, like I said, he gets a lot of physical touch, but no, that's acts of service in his eyes.
that's right. That's right. So y'all, those are your five love languages. And after hearing those, we want to hear from you. What do you think you are? What do you think you're ruled by? And what could
Yeah,
you just do without? We want to hear the one thing you could do without. So in our comments, I want you to put the two things you think you're most ruled by and the one thing you could do absolutely without.
yes. Let
Um
us know. We would really love to hear that. We
and
shared ours with y'all, so.
and I want to hear the person who's receiving gifts is there and you won't be judged. Okay, let's just say that. We're not going to judge you
But
if you're well,
let us know what type of gifts you get.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, but let me ask you a question though, on that note, receiving gifts. So let's say, for instance, you're a Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman kind of thing. and
Uh,
he's buying you expensive diamond rings, and you go outside, and he's like, "Baby, come outside. I want to show you something." He's got you a damn a Ferrari Testarossa. Are you gonna turn it down and be like, "Nah, I don't want that"?
oh, hell no. And you know what? I would say, also too, because I know Jason's mind, he would consider receiving gifts as that too. That's just how his brain fucking works.
He would probably receive quality time. He would say quality time is the same thing.
For every one of them.
And the words of affirmation in the bedroom, yeah, baby, you're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Right? Exactly. Keep it coming, bitch. Keep it coming.
Acts of sir, he gonna link them all somehow to sex, right?
Yeah, yeah. But again, now he's getting older, so finally.
He's what I call. Have you ever heard the saying? He's what I call a hound dog husband.
Yes, I have heard that before.
They're all time hound dogging you.
Yes, it's like, damn, where's the saltpeter when I need it? Oh, I snorted on that one.
You might have to slip some of them in his drink.
I ain't lying, Jesus. I mean, like, come on now.
Jason's gonna be like, I'm gonna read these, and he's gonna be like, "That's five love languages. I've got a number 6, and that's give me lots of sex."
They need a 6th language.
Hey, Jason, start taking out the trash, and you might get a little bit more loving.
Right. I mean, your ass so miss trash day. Not taking out the trash. I can deal with it, but when you miss trash day and your wife has to sit here and haul off bags of trash to her work to put in the dumpster behind her workshop, then we got a problem, bud. We got a problem. Let's snip them cords on Fortnite, okay? Oh, God.
Y'all, we hope you enjoyed this podcast. We definitely want to hear your love languages. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And we are trying to start up some podcasts. Damn, we tell y'all every time.
We're getting tired of saying it, y'all. Help us.
Yeah.
Help us.
It's confessions, ask Bridget and Holly, and settle the argument. If you have any questions, and if you don't, fuck it. Just don't. Just don't do nothing.
We tired of y'all. We tired of saying it. Oh wait, you forgot about the third one.
I know. I said them. I said
you
them.
did. Oh, okay.
You was just laughing. I said, ask Bridget and Holly confessions and settle the argument.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, we've been a little like haywire because for the last 3 weeks, Bridget went on vacation. Then I went on vacation. Then she got sick, and then I got sick, and we so excited to record that we about to knock us out quite a few episodes. So y'all may have to deal with our little forgetfulness and silliness, but we'll have a good time in the meantime, so don't worry.
Amen. Anyhow, we hope y'all have enjoyed this. Wish you a good night, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Bye.